The Witch Queen Collector's Edition has introduced some great lore that many of us had questions on for a while. In this video, we're going to explain where Mara Sov has been since Forsaken, all the way from the time when she left the Queen's Court to her reappearance in Season of the Lost. Let's dive into how Mara Sov destroyed a pyramid ship and also interacted with the darkness. This all starts off with Fenchurch, believe it or not, contacting Eris and saying that he had this weird vision when he was on the moon. Eris later on explained that this vision actually happened, confirming it. And this vision with Mara Sov takes place after the Battle of Saturn, which is the Taken King, and around Forsaken. I've been able to sit down Eris for a few moments and ask her about the vision I experienced on Luna. In short, I saw Mara Sov tending to Eris's wounds in the wreckage of a destroyed vessel. This was prior to the discovery of the pyramid on Luna. I now believe that the wreckage was from a ship of the same type, one of the intruders that presaged the disappearance of Mars, Io, Titan, and Mercury. According to Eris's account, during the time between the Tangled Shore crisis and the discovery of the lunar pyramid, which was Forsaken and Shadowkeep, Mara Sov was in contact with the Exo Stranger regarding the approaching intruders. The Exo Stranger, familiar with the difficulties of recursing time loops, urged Mara Sov to break out of the Dreaming City and move against the intruders. In the Stranger's past timeline or timelines, Fenchurch says he doesn't really believe the Stranger that much. The Awoken never broke Savathun's curse on the Dreaming City, and Mara continued to expend vital resources there, which were solely missed in the later stages of the conflict. Mara was reluctant to leave her people, but decided, as Eris put it, this was better to do something than nothing, even if that something was the wrong thing. Mara struck a deal with the Exo Stranger. The Stranger would provide data that a future Rasputin had used to track the intruder's ships, and Mara would provide the raw paracausal power that Rasputin lacked. Eris was involved because Mara had recently extracted her from Crota's abandoned throne world, and felt an emotional debt to Mara over past service regarding the defeat of Oryx. This was fortuitous. Mara exploited past traffic with the Nine, as well as her own personal experience with the intruder's stealth capabilities, to disperse an array of synthetic aperture mass growl observatories, coordinated by AICOM XBLK, which could have been Exodus Black, and possibly other deep orbit AI systems. The observatories used future technology provided by the Stranger to localize an interloper ship near the dwarf planet 136199 Eris. Eris Morn was not amused by this coincidence. Mara refused to deploy any Awoken fleet assets or fallen mercenaries in the confrontation, and even excluded her own Techians from this planning. Eris suggests, with what I view as some protectiveness, that Mara felt it was time for the burden of her sacrifice to fall on her rather than upon her citizens or pawns. The journey to the dwarf planet Eris was difficult for Eris. Mara had charged herself with some metaphysical qualities salvated from Oryx, which made it extremely difficult for Eris to tolerate her presence. Mara was reticent and snappish, probably lingering trauma from her death in the similar Battle of Saturn. Whatever transpired between them remains private. Eris was unwilling to precisely describe the encounter with the intruder. It did not react to their presence as they matched orbits. Mara went on EVA and at one point removed her suit. I believe, but I am not certain, that Mara either contacted or entered the intruder. Whatever happened next, though, led to Mara's death. It is unclear whether the intruder was at all damaged or whether the debris field I saw on the surface of Eris was related to this encounter. Eris recalled Mara from her throne world by hive ritual, which required both women to confront Savathun at great personal risk. The two then descended to the surface of Eris to explore the wreckage there. There was an incident, It may have been an attack or an accident caused by volatile debris or by the interaction with Eris's frozen methane surface, and from this incident, Eris was badly wounded. Although Eris has techniques to survive in hostile environments, they were disrupted and she was exposed to near vacuum. Mara deployed a shelter and treated the wound in what I interpolate was a moment of reconciliation and perhaps genuine tenderness between them. Eris attempted to show me the scar, although I declined. At this point, concerned they might not survive to make a report, Eris imprinted a log of their journey on a fragment of debris and transmitted it to Luna via Hive Manifold, along with a compilation for any lesser Hive to bring the fragment to a Guardian. This is how it came to me, meaning Fenchurch. I am left with more questions. Was the presence of a debris field on the surface totally unrelated to the ship in orbit? If it was related, did Mara destroy it? And if so, why has she not shared this capability with us? Faced with the skepticism and distrust of so many Guardians, a distrust that has persisted despite the Stranger's reports that in multiple possible futures, Mara died fighting alongside our forces in the final reckoning. Surely Mara would want to advertise her victory. If she did destroy that pyramid chip, was it a one-off event that she will be able to reproduce? Perhaps she has to physically contact a pyramid to destroy it, and the pyramids have now rendered this impossible. Or perhaps she approached in the disguise of Oryx, a disguise which is now compromised. Mara remains a difficult and inscrutable ally. So that story is pretty crazy. First up, Fenchurch pops up out of nowhere and gives us this vision of Mara destroying a pyramid, contacting the Exo Stranger, building these weird observatories, and Eris was also there to assist. As described, this happened between the events of Forsaken and Shadowkeep, when the Queen was missing after she said this.
When there is too much darkness in the universe, light must cast it away. And when there is too much light, darkness must drown it out. This truth is our burden. This is what it is to be awoken. I dreamt of a friend I will come to have. She will tell me a side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side, I think I should like her. The next act is about to begin, and I do not know when I will return. Fear nothing. Vow to no one. We will meet again. One day.
So perhaps this is where Mara went, and then she is now returned for Season of the Lost. What I thought was interesting was this may tie into a card related to Seer Ido from a while back. In the Sleepless Lore tab, we see this. I was dreaming, Seer says, wiping off her mouth with the back of her hand. I saw you on a great black triangle. You split it in two with your bare hands. And I was dead, I think. She cracks her neck with a deliciously loud pop. Or trapped. Like in a maze, but pretty close to figuring my way out. Seer stands up to stretch. She does not mind that Mara is not listening. Let her read. And there was another woman with you. On the triangle, Mara murmurs. Yeah, she was helping. Then your brother showed up and she shakes out her arms, frowning thoughtfully. The dream is already fading. He said, Tropea, or maybe it was tropical. Anyway. So that was back when Seer Ido was alive and she had this dream where she was dead and Mara was destroying a pyramid ship. Seer says she was pretty close to figuring her way out of this maze though, which kind of ties up with what we currently have. We know that Seer Ido is partly alive given the Wishender quest, and there is some other hints of her possibly being brought back in the future if Bungie decides to do so. Also in this dream, she sees Mara with another woman, which could either be Eris or possibly the Exo Stranger assisting her. Now, she does mention Aldrin, and I'm not sure Crow would be here considering he just got revived, but maybe this part of the dream just doesn't really fit because she says it's already fading and she possibly made this part up. But anyway, Guardians, there you have it. Some mysteries of the Destiny universe solved, and some more questions definitely introduced, like could Mara destroy more pyramids? Does she still have this disguise of Oryx, and will Seer Ido return as a result of this dream? If you'd like to see some other Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If it's not up already, I made a previous video on the Collector's Edition lore, which talks about a bunch of things. Unpaired ghosts, worshipping the Hive Books of Sorrow, the encounter between Shaxx and Mara where the helmet stayed on, that's explained a little further, some stuff about the darkness, and you'll definitely enjoy it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name's Evade, and I'll catch you Guardians in the next one.